And welcome once again, Cowboy, to ETV Live Friday Night Showdown, sponsored by Gary Mercer Trucking tonight from Richmond Speedway. Some short track action coming your way just shortly here. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and take it on up to the booth. Calling the shots tonight, Michael Conti and Ian Plash.
Alrighty, welcome everybody. I'm excited to be here tonight at Richmond. 3/4 of a mile short track should produce a lot of great racing tonight, a lot of side-by-side racing, which is what we normally see in this B Series. The competition is as tough as ever in the Season 5 of the Gary Mercer Trucking Inc. B-Car Friday Night Showdown. Right now, surprisingly, I'm looking at the points, Ian, and one of our second split drivers, Anthony Kernick, moved up 4 positions to take over the points lead, and I don't think we've ever had a second split driver in the points lead. That's something special and something that Anthony should definitely be proud of.
Yeah, well, the performance he's been giving out on the track this whole entire season, every single position he's gotten there throughout the whole entire racing season, whether he's in second split or in the lower end of the first split, he's been doing a very, very good job making sure that he is getting there on top of the points. Really, in this series, you're going to need that consistent finish, because once again, with the dropout that you have, the drop weeks in the iRacing point system, if you have those consistent races over and over, this point system is just going to keep picking from all the really, really good races, and you're going to be good to go. Very good season so far. We got to see if he can keep it up.
Definitely, Kernick has been consistent. He did win the second split last week, while a lot of the first split drivers had problems. We had quite the caution fest with over 10 cautions last week. I believe it was 11 or 12 cautions, and it seemed like the aero loose problem was in effect last week, Ian. But I think this week Richmond is not an aero track, so I wouldn't expect to see too much of an aero loose. So hopefully the racing will be a little bit cleaner tonight. I still expect to see some door-to-door racing, some beating and banging, but hopefully we won't have quite the pile-ups that we had last week. I'm going to go down through the points here real quickly. Brandon Bowie, who was the points leader leading into Atlanta, had a little bit of a run-in at Atlanta. He dropped a position. He's only 5 back. Alex Scribner is also 5 back in third place. Then a little bit further back, 22 back, is Alexia Loma in fourth. Shannon Segler is 23 back. Chris Seymour in sixth is 24 back. Matt Spangler in 7th is 27 back. Stephen Zenny in 8th place is 29 points behind the leader. 9th is Samuel Sneed Jr., 31 back. And 10th is David Cater, the only Wheelman Inc. car in the top 10, 31 back, which is quite surprising, Ian, as we've seen Jared Crawford, Rich Doucette, Chad Lawton, all of them be really strong in the B-Car season this season and last season. So I would expect to see more of them in the top 10 this season, Ian, but it seems like they haven't had the consistency that they needed so far.
Yeah, so far this season, it's been a season of nothing but ups and downs for their whole entire team. Saw it last week as well. The race was a very, very well-led race by both of the Wheelman Incorporated drivers, one with not as much luck as he would have appreciated. But Jared Crawford proving to be the best of the best last week, and he took home the win. But once again, in a series like this, you're going to need to keep that consistency going, because you just got to maximize your points while you can. If you have these bad weeks, and your points are going to reflect it. I mean, as good of a driver they both are, they've been in these few races here, it's just unable to capitalize on their opportunities. It's been quite a shame this week.
It definitely seems so. They definitely have had the speed this season at every track that they've attempted. I believe the only track that they have not run so far was Bristol, and even I think if they would have run there, they would have been okay too. But we're just gonna have to see tonight. I'm getting into the server right now. Everyone's preparing to get to the server. So right now, we're gonna send it down to the national anthem with the Cactus Cuties.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
All right, race fans, that was your national anthem, and right now we are getting down to the closing stages of this practice session here at Richmond. 5 minutes the drivers have to warm up until we get underway here, and already looking through this starting grid, folks, we're having a lot of drivers who were in last week's race, a lot of really, really heavy hitters running all the way through this field, a very big field running through. Real quick, Mike, what do you think of the chances of Jared and Chad staying up front as we're looking at them on the front row already? Very fast race cars we got.
Yeah, they definitely look fast this week once again. I think they're just going to have to stay out of trouble like Crawford did last week. Unfortunately, Chad did get involved in an accident, so they're just going to have to keep their track position, keep their heads about them, and not do anything crazy. We've already seen Justin Brooks and Josh Gerald get into it in the warm-up lap so far, so look for that to carry over into the race, but I'm looking for great racing tonight. Got a lot of great cars out on the grid tonight. Some pro drivers, some DWC drivers, some A drivers. You got a little bit of everything in here, so that's great to see. All right, starting on pole, no surprise, Chad Lawton, the only driver with a sub 20-second lap at a 19.999. Starting outside of him in the number one car is Jared Crawford.
Second row, Richard Doucette in the third position. Fourth position, Dylan Duvall, two very hard hitters. I both of them to be running very well throughout the night.
Definitely so. Sitting in the fifth place, Justin Brooks. Starting outside of Brooks is the number 5 of David Krikorian.
Anytime you get a race with David Krikorian, you always got to watch out for him. I've been in several leagues with him before, and he knows what he's doing around these short tracks. Going around to the next row here, we have Andrew Fayesh and Brad Mahar. We're starting in the 7th and 8th position, both running respectable 131s and 132s.
Starting in 9th is the number 7 of Alex Warren, and starting outside of him is the number 29 of Matthew Wright.
Dylan Rafferty starting in 11th position in the number 15 car. Garrett Grant starting in 12th with the number 22 machine, both running very identical times.
Starting on the inside of 7th row tonight is Joe Holt in that number 20 machine. Starting outside of Holt is the number 3 of Alex Chambrone.
Alex Scribner will round up in the 15th position here. EJ O'Rourke, another heavy hitter towards the mid of the field right now. He's look for him to move forward a little bit. He'll be starting the 16th position. I think he's got something for him.
Definitely so. Hollywood O'Rourke starting from mid-pack. All right, 17th place, the number 10 of Nick Zotner. And starting outside of him is your P2 man in points, Brandon Bowie in the number 8.
And if Brandon Bowie has a great race today, you better be looking for his points lead to expand if he gets that good finish he's looking for. Ian Blanchard starting in the 19th position, and Matthew Largan will be finishing in 20th position.
Starting 21st is the 23 of Dylan Landry, and outside of him in the number 14 is Alexia Loma.
Stephen Enzi will start in the 23rd position, and 24th position will be Jake Petrella, and those are the only drivers that took times on the field. Peter Bennett, Chris Seymour, Joshua Gerald, Brandon Gerald, and Malik Ray all round up from the 25th to the 20th position without taking times.
So those guys are definitely going to have to march their way through this pack tonight. This would definitely be a place where I would want to qualify as track position is definitely going to be important tonight, as it looks like, I mean, you look through this qualifying grid right now, and you have a lot of guys within 3/10 of each other, which is virtually nothing, and all the way back to 24th of Petrella, that's only half a second. So the field is very closely bunched up tonight. We've got a lot of heavy hitters in here. We have second in points in here. We have a lot of our top 10 in here. I do not see Anthony Kernick in here, so again, he is going to be in that second split. Right now, here goes Chad Lawton off the start right there with a great start. That number 2 gets a good launch right there. He's going to pull ahead of his teammate in the number 1, and the battle's going to be for third position going down to turn number 1.
Richmond is set to the inside of Dylan Duvall on corner exit of number 2. Gotta watch out for corner exit number 2 especially. Flattens out very quickly, easy to get yourself in the wall. Dylan Duvall still giving him hell on the top side. Dusat got nothing on the bottom, almost gets in the wall. Duvall does, but going into 1, he might be able to clear him on the brakes. Tries to cover his nose, will not be able to complete the pass.
We're going to have to look for that 6 car tonight. That is a GFR car along with Alex Scribner, so we know he's going to be very strong tonight. That is a new team move. I believe he did that last week, so Duvall is a new GFR driver as the 9 gets a little bit squirrely off turn 4 right there. That's going to allow Justin Brooks to get to the outside of him. And right now, Ian, it seems like on newer tires, the outside is working pretty well if you can pinch that guy off on the bottom.
Yeah, especially on corner exit. The high side's definitely going to do unsurmountable amounts of advantages on exits. But unfortunately, if those tires start to wear, you on that high side, you're going to find yourself not being able to stick those exits as well as you could earlier in the run. As you see Richard Doucette trying to make the groove on the inside of Brooks will get it done into 1. But when these tires start to wear, that inside line is going to be the preferred line. On the outside, it's easy to make up that ground. And oh boy, Andrew Fayesh all over the back bumper of Brooks on exit number 2.
And Fayesh looks like he's trying to move his way up to the field. He's got Alex Warren in the 7 GSR Chevy back there, breathing down his neck. 7 car going for position number 6 right there. So Alex Warren trying to march himself close to the top 5, and that's really your only battle within the top 10 right now, Ian. It seems like these guys are trying to get some laps up under him. They know it happened last week, and I know they do not want to duplicate that. So as the 7's going to clear the 12 right here, your top 10 is single file. The first battle is all the way back here starting to heat up in the 13th position with Alex Scribner holding that position down in front of Joe Holt. Now we have Mahar in the 11 car right there, the Gary Mercer Trucking in car going inside the 15, the 15 being Dylan Rafferty. So Rafferty going backward, looks like Mahar is starting to move forward, so that 11 car looks real strong right now early on in this race.
Dave Krikorian trying to follow suit underneath the 15 car and exit corner number 2 to make the exit. Still cannot complete the pass on corner exit 15. Gives him really hard charge on that high side, but DK sticks it down on the bottom, will complete the pass, and I'm hearing we do have a caution on the racetrack.
Hearing that it's the 17 of Josh Gerald right there. Gerald in the banana car right there with a lot of damage coming off of turn 2 right there. 17 of Gerald nailed the wall, pancaked it, bounced off into Petrella right there, so that was all the 17. Looked like those tires were not good enough to be on the outside right there, and that's going to collect a couple cars back there. I believe the 16 might have gotten a piece of it, the 16 being Seymour. I'm looking at his nose, looks like he's got a little bit of nose damage, just maybe a touch, so it looks like that's going to be okay. Again, this is not an aero track, folks, so aerodynamics and the shape of the front end really does not matter as long as you don't start to overheat. So it looks like the brunt of the damage is going to be served by Petrella and Gerald. So our first caution coming out on lap 9. So these guys got somewhat of a run in, Ian, but I'm sure they would have liked to gone a little bit further than that before their first caution to feel out their cars and see what they're going to do in the long run.
All right, well, I'm going to send it down to Dalton. He's got the field coming down to him to make their pit stops. First yellow flag pit stops of the night.
Yes, Jared Crawford coming down pit lane, getting 2 tires and a full tank of fuel. And he's going to be one of those factors. And he is teammates with Jed, so they're 1 and 2 right now. And Dylan Duvall has been looking strong the whole race. And we'll send it back up there to the booth.
Looking at Jared Crawford, he kind of slid his pit exit, entry I should say rather, trying to get down into these concrete pit stalls, was unable to make the car grip as he's trying to slow it down. Alex Warren is going to be your first car out. He may be on 2 tires. Chad Law in the first car on 4 tires, exiting along with Alex Cambriel making the move. So is Brad Mahar and Dylan Duvall. Richard Doucette all around Jared Crawford, and just that one little slip-up costing him about 2 seconds getting the car stopped in the pit lane is going to cost him 3 or 4 positions on the racetrack.
Yeah, it looks like we have a little bit of strategy right here. To no surprise to me, I deal with this at every short track we go to. Alex Warren playing that strategy game. We'll see if it can help right here in that number 7 car. He's on 2 tires. It looks like his teammate Shambrun 3 in the 3rd position right now came out on 2 tires, and the 11 of Mahar is also on 2 tires. So those guys playing the track position game right there and making some ground up with it. So we're going to have to see if the 2 tires can hold on. I think these guys are going to be mainly worried about that right rear, because you need that right rear on the car if you want to get a launch up off the exit of these corners.
Yeah, not only that, but you got to be watching that right front tire as well if you're working that high side a little more often than anybody else on the bottom, because by doing that, you're going to be cooking that right front pretty severely. When you don't have grip, as we just saw in that last caution, you're going to be hitting that wall on corner number 2 very, very easily. There's no grip sometimes when you keep overheating those right front tires. Got to watch the rear on exit as well. Getting on that gas too hard is going to make you slip out, and you're just going to have all kinds of handling troubles around this racetrack. Alex Warren decided to take the 2 tires and gets the lead as we come down to 1 lap until we go to Green Flag Racing. He'll be the man up front. Chad Lawton in the very strong number 2 car out there in 2nd. Alex Cambrell moving up to the 3rd position. 4th, Brad Mahar. 5th, Dylan Duhall. And Richard Doucette in the 6th. Jared Crawford drops all the way back to 7th after pitting in 2nd.
Yeah, I tell you, Justin Brooks had a big slip up getting into his stall. We saw Crawford have to back up maybe a foot, but Brooks really threw that thing into reverse and backed up 3 or 4 feet, costing at least 5 or 6 seconds. So he took 4 tires. He's going to come out in the 12th position as the pace car peels off. 7's going to bring him down slow. There he goes. The 7 drops the hammer right there. 7's going to get a good run off the bottom. It looks like the leader can get a lot of grip on the bottom right there. The battle for position is going to be for the 2nd spot as the 3 looks to take it away from the 2. The 3 again on 2 tires. Have to see if he can get any type of grip off compared to that 2. Looks like the 2 is going to hang tough going down to turn 3 and 4.
Ooh. Just like Alex decided to almost go up the track a little bit out of that. I couldn't tell if it was the 2 coming down or 3 coming up, but we almost had door-to-door contact going into turn number 3. Looks like that 2 car, Chad Lawton, stuck on the high side, slipping back in early. He is getting freight trained by a good majority of this field. 6 car still looking underneath the 2. Here comes the 11 to follow suit. And a little bit of a gap behind the 11 if he can slip in line, but it looks like that gap's closing in a hurry. I think Chad Lawton got a piece of the wall.
Oh, and he's going to kind of close the door on the 11 right there down to turn number 1. He had enough room right there. Cut him off just a little bit, but that's okay. That is short track racing for you. You know you have to get down the line. Everyone knows that the bottom is the preferred groove, so there's going to be some give and take early on to this race. But trust me, as this race goes on, people are going to be driving it into the corners a little bit deeper. We might not see that kind of move pay off. But as I'm saying that, the one of Jared Crawford on those 4 tires, marching up to the field. A big wreck in the back.
Big wreck out of corner 2.
Top off turn number 2. Big wreck right there. The 15, I believe, the 15 of Dylan Rafferty right there. I caught him out of the corner of my eye, and it looked like he got sent around off turn 2. I'm trying to see right here. Ooh, the 20 of Joe Holt sends him for a ride right there. Overcorrects it into the outside wall. And that amazingly is going to be a single car incident. I don't know how no one else hit him, but the 15 of Dylan Rafferty is going to come out with the brunt of the damage, but he's going to be the only one to suffer damage after spinning around like a top in front of the half of the field right there. So lucky for the guys behind him, that could have been a lot worse. This early on in the race, these guys really want to keep their cars clean, but that was really unavoidable right there, but somehow they did avoid it, so big props to those guys in the back. Good wreck avoidance.
Andrew in the number 12 car will be your first call coming to the pits. He actually has some heavy right side damage. He might have pancaked it off the wall a little bit, as you just saw on the E-play, to try to avoid the spinning car right in front of his face. He did a really good job checking it up, a lot less damage than he could have gotten.
Yeah, it looks like the 12 is going to come down and get some damage fixed. I'm going to send it down to Dalton with an update on that.
Andrew Fash coming down in the pit lane, getting 4 tires and getting that sheet metal pulled out of that right front tire. I know they hit that wall hard out of turn 2, and we'll send it back up there to the booth.
All right, that is Dalton England down on pit road for us tonight at the Richmond International Raceway. Again, 3/4 of a mile short track racing is intense already, and we're going to take a quick break while we're under caution. We'll be right back with more green flag racing from the Richmond International Raceway.
Welcome back. I swear, one of these days I'm going to stick a microphone back up here in the booth on commercial. But I'll tell you what, Cowboy, Richmond Speedway here tonight with the top split action coming at you with the Friday night showdown. I want to make a quick mention, ETV Live Radio always pushing the bar a little bit further. Proud to introduce the ETV Live Radio. Had it up now for about a month. Check it out from etv-eplay.net as we watch the pace car take the go across the line and turn the lights off. One to go here at Richmond. ETV Live Radio featuring classic rock and roll every hour, every day. You can also catch live events like the one we're watching broadcasting here tonight. Race day broadcast right from the booth. Open Paddock Live at 9:30 p.m. on Tuesdays. On Monday nights from 6 to 8, hey, catch the And the Winner Is Motorsport Show with Wesley Outland and Michael Neff. But right now, let's go ahead and throw it on back up to the booth. Ian Plash and Michael Conti.
All right, well, welcome back, race fans, here to ETV Live. Alex Warren is the man on front on 2 tires so far, track position to show itself to be a more important factor at the Richmond International. Alex Warren on the gas quickly, gets the nice jump to the line. He will be your leaders across the line. Number 3 is trying to follow suit, and Chad Lawton give the 3-car bump going into corner number 1. That's checking up big time, rolling up to the bottom, unable to make the car stick onto the bottom, but on exit of corner number 2, trying to get back down to the inside. Chad Lawton, very strong car tonight.
Yeah, Lawton looks real strong right there. His teammate, however, I'm sorry, not his teammate, Dylan Duvall in the 6th did not get a good restart right there. Checked up that inside line a little bit. That caused a little bit of mayhem in the back of the field, but looks like everyone has gotten away unscathed as Jared Crawford moves up one more position. He's going to clear that 6 going down to turn 3 right here. That is going to be the 4th position for Crawford, so those tires are paying off just a little bit right now, but as we're seeing with Alex Warren, 2 tires are definitely working here tonight, at least on the short run. You've got Chambrone in the 3 on 2 tires as well, so it looks like the 2 tires are holding up quite well so far. I'm looking back in this pack right now. The first real battle again is right at the tail end of the top 10 right there. Joe Holt in the 20 car making a move on Dave Krikorian in the 5, so move the 5 back to 10th. Holt up to 9th, so Holt is starting to charge his way back up the front. Justin Brooks, after his pit stop troubles, is still back outside the top 10. So I'm looking back up front right here. Battle for 3rd right there. The number 1 is on the bottom of his teammate. The 2 is the 6. It's a big wiggle up off the corner right there. That's going to let Mahar get to the bottom of him in 11. So going down to turn 1, we've got 2 battles for position, and it looks like the 1 of Crawford's going to get the 2. The 11 and the 6 are still going at it. The 11's trying to pinch him just up the track a little bit as Doucette gets a little bit sideways right there. That's not going to work. Here comes Doucette for position on the bottom of the 11. So in a matter of a lap right there, Ian, the 11 went from being on the offensive to the defensive. That's how quickly things change here at Richmond.
Richard Doucette, I was watching him exit corner number 2 last time by. Big wiggle, trying to make it 3 wide. It saves it all the way down to the bottom of the 60-foot wide racetrack. Went all the way down to that yellow line. to recollect that machine. Does a really good job, and 11 car, Brad Mayhar, he was making a pretty good move trying to get forward, but suddenly the handling just went away like he cooked that right front, pushing it a little too hard. Once again, you got to be watching those tires. Tire management always a factor here in the B car, regardless of what track we go to.
Yeah, Mahar right there in the 11. He did take on 2 tires in that last pit stop, so it looks like the 11 is not handling quite well enough to take those 2 tires quite as well as the 7 Machine 3 car. So it looks like Mahar is starting to struggle on those 2 tires. He's still inside the top 10, but just barely. He is back to the 9th position, so here he started up in that top 5. Has lost at least 5 positions since this restart. Here comes Justin Brooks behind him, battling for the 10th position. That is Krikorian again, losing another spot. Krikorian's going to fall outside the top 10 right there. Move Brooks into 10th, Krikorian back to 11th, so Krikorian moving to the back of the field as well. That is not the way he wants to be going right now early on in this race.
Gotta stand it back up to the top 3 on the track. Jared Crawford has caught the number 3 car. He's now on his back bumper going into corner number 1, and Jared unable to get around him, and that's allowing Alex Warren on those 2 tires just continue to pull away in front of this whole entire field. Alex showing he's got a very strong car.
Yeah, definitely. Alex looks really great right now, especially with 2 tires. That 3 machine is working quite well. You know, tires do matter here. It seems like 2 tires are working pretty well early on in the run, but I have to imagine that as the run goes on, the right side tires are going to start to give up. The left side tires already have given up because they are the older tires of the 4. So for that 3 car to be hanging on as well as he is right now, that says a lot about the setup on that car. But the 1 of Crawford's going to get that run up off the corner. He's going to battle side by side down to turn number 1. He is probably going to clear the 3 off the corner. Now it's going to be Lawton in the 2. And the 3 of Chambrone off turn number 2 right there. Lawton is looking to take that position. 3's not going to fall behind him though. The 3 is here to race tonight, folks. The 3 is going to pinch that 2. Down at 3 and 4. The 2 is going to get a run up off the corner. He's probably going to get him cleared right here. So I would say move that 2 up to 3rd, move the 1 up to 2nd, and 3 down 2 spots and 2 laps. He's back to 4th as Duval starts to close in on him as well.
Chabrone just unwilling to give up the fight, pinching the number 2 machine as well as Jared Crawford on both the corners, especially in turns 3 and 4. I was watching a little bit of a pinch, almost caught the right rear of Chad Lawton on exit of corner number 4. Dylan Duval now starting to close the gap. He's trying to close in. Richard Doucette unable to make any moves so far, still trying to make a good move throughout the field in the 6th position right now. And Matthew Wright, got to give a shout out to him. Seen him quite often here on ETV. Just made a move around Joe Holt to get into the 8th position, or 7th position rather, but Joe Holt not giving up just yet. Down to the inside, will complete the pass coming out of corner number 4.
So you're going to move Holt up to the 7th position, right back to 8th. Mahar still 9th, and rounding out top 10 is Justin Brooks. I'm going to look back outside the top 10 a little bit right here. I mentioned a few names we have not called out tonight. You got Peter Bennett back here at number 13. He's currently holding down for the 12th spot. Good run for him tonight, very solid. Alex Scribner, another one of those Gale Force cars, the Monster Energy Gale Force ride right there. Right now is in 13th, and Scribner started 15th, so a little bit of a move up through the field for Scribner. Not as much as I'm sure he'd like, but he's going in the right direction. Back here, we've got Nick Zotner in the 14th position, that number 10 car. Garrett Grant, the 22, is up to 15th. Grant started 12th, so he's actually slipped back a couple positions. So, as I said earlier in this race scene, it seems like we have our comers and goers. Grant would be your goer, and you know, Bennett and Scribner, they're your comers. They're moving forward right now.
Through the field they are coming. It looks like Justin Brooks and David Krikorian and 2 other drivers I was expecting to have a pretty solid run so far, doing a pretty good job inside the top 10. Justin Brooks just clearing the number 11 machine. Looks like David Krikorian is trying to do the same going into turn number 1. 13 of Peter Bennett as well is going to make the move on exit of turn number 2. Still trying to get to the inside. They are going into corner number 3. David Krikorian unable to clear him just yet. Will get the pass completed. Here comes Peter Bennett.
Bennett looking to pick up another position. Mahar on those 2 tires. Once again, he is falling to the back. Move Justin Brooks up to 9th. Krikorian up to 10th. Peter Bennett up to 11th. And Mahar back to 12th. So in a span of about 15 or so laps, Mahar's gone from inside the top 5 to outside the top 10. So he's definitely going to be taking 4 tires of fuel when he comes back on pit road. As you see, that right rear is gone on the 11. That car is way too loose right now to get any drive up off the corner. Looking forward right here, it looks like Richard Doucette has passed the 3 of Chambrone, and so has Duval, as we have a battle closing up front right here. Crawford has cut down on that lead of Warren, and he has Lawton about a half a second behind him closing in as well.
Jared Crawford all over the back bumper of Alex Warren, trying to complete the pass and exit. Alex with a little bit of a slip up on corner exit, and better check his mirror now. That's got to be an intimidating sight to see. Jared Crawford closing the gap in the last 10 laps. Almost a 3/4 of a second gap about 5 or 6 laps ago. It is now less than a 1/10 of a second as we cross the start-finish line. And Jared Crawford not able to complete that pass. That's going to let Chad Lawton cut a little bit closer as well. So we're looking for a 3-car fight as we get down to lap number 43 of 120 here at Richmond. These laps ticking by very quickly. This is not going to be that long of a race.
Yeah, Lawton cut down a 1/10.5 right there off that lead. It seems like the 7's tires are giving up, as well as Chambrone's and Mahar we've seen fall back like a rock as well. So the 2 tires over this long run are not working quite as well as the 4 tires. Here comes Crawford. He's got to run up off the corner right there. He's going to poke his nose out just a little bit. Now he's going to make a late move into 3. Not going to happen. 7 says, no, you are not going to do that this early, buddy. You are not going to dive bomb these. And 7 drives it down to the corner. And we're going to make another lap with that 7 up front right there. So right now it's the 7, the 1, and the 2. A 3-way battle for the lead. 45 laps into this race. So great racing so far. We're on our longest run of the race right here. It seems like the 1 and the 2 definitely have the long run cars to beat right now.
Alex Warren doing an extremely fantastic job trying to keep that car up front. I don't know how long he's able to hold on, though. The harder he pushes it, the more and more those tires are going to wear. Less grip. Jared Crawford still giving him all kinds of pressure, but Alex Warren has not cracked at all. He is holding strong up front. Chad Lawton right on the back bumper of Jared Crawford as well. So now we got a 3-car freight train battling for the lead.
There you go, 3-car battle still for the lead right here. I'm looking at Dylan Duvall in the 6-car. He's cut that lead down as well. He was a second and 38 hundredths back the last time by. He cut that down to half a 10th right there. So Duvall is also coming as well.
Gotta send it down to Dalton in the pits. He's got an update.
Yeah, we got Alex Warren looking about 35 more laps. They go green. He'll be coming down for 4 tires and no fuel, but we'll see how we do here, guys. Back up to the booth.
Okay, all right, thank you, Dalton. I'm not quite sure about those estimates right there. I'm pretty sure, Dalton, did you say we could go 85 to 100 laps on fuel tonight?
Yes, that is what I've been hearing earlier. So, and you know, we've had a few cautions, so probably they're gonna make it the whole race unless we go green from here all the way.
All right, so a little bit of fuel strategy, pit strategy going on. I'm pretty sure the 7 did take fuel on his last stop, which was around lap 20 or so, maybe lap 15, a little bit closer there. So if you take, you take lap 10, I'm hearing from Dalton, he's correcting me, I'm not paying attention up here. You take lap 10, you add 85 laps to that, he could probably make it another 45 laps conservatively. So that 7 car definitely needs to make one more stop here tonight if it goes green all the way. The 1, the 2, and everyone else are also going to have to make another stop, as the 1's going to try to take the lead right here for the 7. 7's going to just move over right there. He had the 1 inside of him, knows that those tires are not good enough to be battling on the outside, as Chad Lawton's going to make his move going down to turn 3 as well. 7's going to move over for him as well. And the 7 is going to come back to 3rd, and Dylan Duvall, now we have a 4-car freight train for the lead. Dylan Duvall in the 6 car has moved in within striking distance as well, with Rich Doucette closing in also.
Alex Warren made a very smart move when he decided to take off the car going into turn 1. Knowing you got those older tires, if you're trying to push on exit corner number 2, we see it time and time again. That wall comes up in a hurry. You smack it off that wall, that's pretty much race over. Now he's just got to be able to conserve his car, see how much he can keep those tires in. Still got quite a few laps till he'd be pitting here, so he just basically got to conserve what he has got. But as I was saying earlier, when he was up there up front holding up Jared Crawford for about 10-15 laps, a lot of these drivers that have been about 3rd, 4th, 5th position started to close the gap. And next thing you know, we got everybody within strike distance of the leader. And Jared Crawford, you got to think he's been pushing his car pretty hard, trying to get around Alex as well. So you never know if he decided that at that time by pushing it, that he might be burning his stuff up there, as not looking to be pulling away from Chad Lawton, as Chad did have the more dominant car earlier in the run.
It looks like Lawton might have a little bit more tread left on those tires. That was Crawford that was trying to make the move on the 7. And of course, like you said, he's definitely pushing that car hard to try to get the 7 to maybe get out of the way, make a mistake, do something. So that 1 was the intimidator of the 7. The 2 is just kind of sitting back there looking at them race each other real hard. So the 2, Chad Lawton, he was in the catbird seat that whole last 15-20 laps, so his tires should be a little bit better. But looks like right now Crawford's cooled his tires back down. He's starting to pull away just a little bit. That was a 21:22 for Jared Crawford, that last lap time right there. Chad Lawton at a 26, Warren at a 37, Duval at a 25, and Doucette in 5th with a 35. So fastest car on the track is Crawford, and it looks like Duval is the second quickest car right now. So I'd like to see what Duval could do if he could get around Alex Warren kind of quickly. Maybe he could close up the gap to the number 2 car and make a move for the second position.
All right, folks, well, looking at this lead battle, it has been close the whole entire race. So far, nobody able to show they have the definitive car to beat. Right quick, we're going to go to a commercial break. When we come back, more exciting racing action here at the Richmond International, brought to you by us here at ETV. Don't you go anywhere.
All right, here we go right here. We're under caution for the 3rd time tonight. Jared Crawford's going to catch the pace car right here. You know, I'm expecting 4 tires and fuel. I don't know what these guys are going to do, but that was a decent run right there. I'm sure these guys have their tires heated up. I'm sure they are worn out. Guys are going to come down right here. They can make it on fuel from here. It's going to be a stretch for the tires, but the fuel will hold. I'm going to send it down to our buddy in pit road, Dalton England, for all the live updates he can find. Dalton, down to you.
Jared Crawford coming pit lane, guys. He's taking 4 tires, no fuel. Like we said earlier in the run, when he pitted, he got fuel, so he'll be good for the rest of the race. And we got Chad Lawton right there, his teammate, that's going to be a factor of this race. So keep an eye out for him. As you've seen Alex Warren on those 2 tires for about 45 laps and kept it up there in the lead for about 30 of it. Back up to the booth.
All right, well, the reason we're under caution at the Richmond International is because Brad Mahar, the number 11 machine, we saw him on 2 tires the very last pit stop that we had, but it proved to be a little bit of an issue for him. He actually just had a really dramatic moment down the front straight away. Wonder if we can get pulled up on the E-play or not at some point, but he just lost it coming out of corner number 4 right behind another driver, was unable to catch it, and just around it went. Unfortunate for him. But his race is pretty much shot from here. But got to talk about Alex Warren on those 2 tires being able to hold the ground like he was. Look where he's at right now. He came out of the pits in 3rd. We get to the line. He will still be in the 3rd position. No penalties for your top 5. As now we got the E-play up. We're going to take a look exactly what happened to 11 machine. We're going to watch him dive it out here and go to exit number 4. Back end just unable to stay underneath him with those older tires. He's pushing it really hard, just trying to get every single lip that he goes. Spins it right around, and I believe he may have collected the 25, trying to get around the instant as well as he tried to pull away.
Yeah, a lot of bent sheet metal right there for the 11 car mainly. Mahar with those 2 tires, it looked like that car was loose to start off with, Ian, and when he put those 2 tires on it, it didn't help that. And as the left sides wore, he just did not have any drive up off the corners. We could see when we were watching him slide down through the running order. So Mahar's night went from good to bad very early, very quickly. He was running inside the top 5, doing quite well, and then just those 2 tires killed him. But 2 tires seemed to work for Alex Warren and Alex Chambrone, 2 teammates right there. It looks like they have the car set up tonight to where they can afford to put 2 tires on it, and the cars don't get too undriveably loose. So now we're going to see who is definitely the better car, because we got Lawton, Crawford, Warren, Chambrone, Duval. They're all on the same tires, and I'm going to throw Rich Doucette in there too. It seems like we have 6 cars tonight that could definitely contend for this win.
Curious to see what Alex Warren does on this restart. With those 2 tires, he was able to hold his own. He actually pulled away a little bit. He went to Green Flag Racing, albeit Jerry Crawford and Chad Lawton were a little mired by slower cars. But regardless, looking to have a pretty strong run out of him. I wonder if he's got anything for him. The chassis underneath Alex and Alex are both pretty strong machines behind the 7 and the 3. So on 2 tires, they proved themselves pretty well. Let's see what they can do on 4. Looking for the rest of the field, as you said, we got Dylan Duval restarting in the 5th position, Richard Doucette 6th, and Peter Bennett, Justin Brooks, the next row behind them. They'll be the first blue stripes we have out there. That's your A-Class opposed to the Pro. David Corey and Joe Holt in the row just behind them. It looks like David Kokorin and Justin Brooks have been pretty quiet tonight, but on this restart, everybody's going to have the equal playing field. Let's see what they have for your top 5 and if they can get up to the front.
It's definitely going to be a little bit different right here. Chad Lawton's bringing the field down to the restart. He beat the one off pit road. He's going to get a good jump on the one right there. Again, another slow restart by the 6. Seems like he can't get that thing to go from possibly second to third gear right there. So the 6 having all types of troubles on these restarts. He's going to lose position to the 9 to Doucette now. Doucette's going to make a move on the 3. Chambrone, so Chambrone might lose a position right here. And it looks like he's going to hold his own down at turn 3. He drove it in there really deep, but did not get off the corner at all. Suffered by driving it down in that deep. So going down the turn 1 and 2, the 9 and 3 are going to stay side by side. It looks like the 9's going to get some sort of drive off right here. Still side by side down the backstretch. The 3 and the 9 are not giving up anything right now.
Chabrone refusing to give up that battle, but that is eating away his right front tire, and that is not going to be doing him any good. Still on the outside of the number 9 car. It's like here comes Dylan Duval going into 1, but the 3 car packing it on that high side, doing a very impressive job getting to 6.
As Chambrone is really driving his heart out right now, trying to keep those positions. He's going to fall back down into line as the caution comes out, so that's going to save Chambrone. I'm looking right now. I don't see the caution. Trying to get word right now where the caution was. Definitely wasn't anywhere in the front of the pack, not in the middle of the pack either. I didn't see anything. Must have been way back there somewhere. Looking at the 12 of Andrew Fayash. Oh yeah, 12 and 27 right there. 27 caught the apron off the exit of turn number 2. Sent the 17 around. The 12 of Fayash is just an innocent victim right there. Oh, and the 17 of Gerald turned dead right into Fayash after the incident happened. So Gerald is definitely not happy with what's been going on tonight. Unfortunately for him, he had a little bit of an incident to bring out the first caution. That's really put a hamper on his night, and he's back there because of that. So more problems for the 17 car. The 12 of Fayash involved in yet another problem in 27 right there, just getting a little bit loose. So your typical Richmond recce, and when something goes wrong here, it happens in a hurry, and usually it's a big chain reaction crash.
Yeah, how cars like to say nose to tail, especially when we get on these later runs. It's almost like Bristol was back in the day, where the bottom side is where you needed to be. When you just get it to stick on the bottom, it's just, there's so many cars that are going to keep piling up. You got the faster cars that can't make the move. They all just tangle up very quick. And every single one of those 3 cars you just saw on the E-Play, bumper to bumper, there's really nowhere you can go when that wreck started happening 12's night, going from bad to, well, even worse, unfortunately. Real quick before we get back to green flag action, we got to throw it to a quick commercial break, but when we come back, the last few laps here at the Richmond International Raceway.
Hey, JD here with ETV Live, and let me tell you something. If it's too big for the pickup truck and you need to move it, there's only one trucking company you need to call, and don't bother with the Yellow Pages Cowboy. I'll give you that number in a minute. Manufactured goods, automotive, technical equipment, furniture, even if you need a reefer, Gary Mercer Trucking Incorporated is the only choice, Cowboy. With locations in Mississauga, Ontario, Canada, Rancho Cucamonga, California, if you need to move it, store it, and keep it cold, you need to call Gary Mercer Trucking Incorporated. Long haul, short haul, or just across town, Gary Mercer has the best trained and qualified drivers to get your load from point A to point B with professionalism and on time. So remember, Hoss, if it don't fit in a pickup truck, you're going to need a real truck, Cowboy. Sponsors of ETV Live's Friday Night Showdown, Gary Mercer Trucking Incorporated, 1-800-668-2980. All right, back in the saddle again. Richmond Speedway top split action here. Friday Night Showdown, always sponsored by Gary Mercer Trucking, gmercer.com. Lights are off on the pace car, Cowboy. And let me tell you something. You want to watch this one again? etv-eplay.net. Click on the ePlay link up there at the top of the website. That'll take you over to the archive page. You can also download the high-res version of the replay yourself, put it on your computer, and watch it as your leisure. Let's take it back up to the booth to Michael Conti and Ian Plash.
All right, everybody, welcome back to the Richmond International Speedway. We're 71 laps into this thing, coming to get 72 laps. Now we're working our third caution tonight. Chad Lawton's going to take him away right there. Chad Lawton gets a great restart right there. And the one's going to drop into second. He found a hole in front of the 7. The battle is going to be for third going into turn number 1 and 2. 9's going to slip up way high, not going to get that good run he needed off the corner. Duval's going to try to make a move right there as Duval's shaking that car back and forth off the corner, trying to counter steer, keep that thing straight. So Duval definitely working hard there tonight. He's going to get a run through the center of the corner, slip up in front of Rich Doucette. Oh, he's trying to go. There they go. Oh, oh man.
Wow.
These guys are racing hard right now. 6 is going to weave back at the 9 right there. 9 and the 6 are not agreeing with each other. Oh, he's going to give him a bump down the back stretch. So the battle for 4th is really heated up right now. And there's a pile of cars behind him just waiting for them to figure each other out.
Woo! Look at this field behind him, almost like a race at Daytona or Talladega, 2 by 2 by 2 throughout the whole entire field. Dylan Duval doing one heck of a job holding on to that machine. He's been battling a loose car all race long. Look out now. He's starting to get the freight train running down towards the bottom. No one giving him any inches, and Duval fighting for it. Can't get to the inside. Joe Holt making a move to the inside of the 6. Might be a little hole behind Joe Holt, so if he can slide in line there, pain will stop. But the 6 car still not giving up. Almost goes into Joe's door.
Duval's really driving quite aggressively right now, but I guess it's go time. We were 75 laps into this thing of 120, so not a lot of time left. The 20 and the 6 are going to get real close off turn number 4 right there. But the 6 of Duval, like I said, he's racing aggressively, and the 9 and the 6 don't seem to be getting along right now. They were swerving and weaving at each other, which is not good. If they get back together, might be something to look for. But right now they have 2 cars in between them. Justin Brooks has made a nice recovery from his pit stop problems on that first set of pit stops right there. So the 4 cars back up inside the top 5, breathing down the 9's neck right there. So close battle for 4th on back. Uh-oh, there they go. The center turn number 1 and 2, the 8 around. It looked like Krikorian might have been involved in that, or maybe he was just going up way high to get around that. I'm looking right here. Oh, it was the 3 and the 8. The 8 just packed it in under the 3. 3 didn't want anything of it. Oh, and they all got around him except for the 11 and Mayo. Oh, and they stacked up after right there, Ian. So a little bit of damage on the 8's front bumper. And I'm trying to see. Looks like that was the 18 who got sent around after the fact.
Yeah, that was just a log jam coming out of corner number 2. Everybody doing a very good job checking up. E.J. O'Rourke, he's having a little bit of an issue getting his car straightened out. He's pretty towed out looking at that back end. So, as you say, he's going Hollywood style, drifting around this racetrack. He's just smoking those tires trying to get it around. Heavy damage all over E.J. and number 21 machine.
A lot of damage on that 21 machine right there. That was just all of them trying to check up at the same time, trying to get around the 8 and just trying to get around each other. And unfortunately, you can't fit 5 wide around this Richmond International Raceway. Maybe last week at Atlanta we could have done 5 wide, but it seemed like we couldn't do 2 wide there, so I wouldn't want to try that either there.
Yeah, and guys, here comes Alex Warren down the pit lane, taking 4 tires, no fuel. 4 tires, no fuel. And it looks like he's going to be coming out of pit lane about 3rd, 4th. Oh, no, it's looking like 4th place. Him and the 24, close race off the pit lane, send it back up there to the booth.
Uh-oh, Jerry Crawford, your 2nd place position around the track, had some form of trouble coming into the pits. I don't know what happened to him, but he came back, and I believe he may have spatted because everybody's going around him right now. So your number 1 machine in this race, the highest rated driver, is going to be restarting in the back of the field, and he is not happy about it.
No, definitely not. That 1 car did not need that right there. We've seen how important track position is, and I mean, I know that 1's fast, but I don't know if he's fast enough to get up to the front. We're closing in on 40 laps to go right here. 40 laps around this track at 20 seconds a lap. That goes by really quickly. I mean, you can blink your eyes and this race will be over, so the 1 is going to have a long road to hoe if he wants to get up to the front. But we saw his teammate, I believe it was Chad Lawton last week, go from the back to the front at Atlanta with a little bit of strategy along the way. So it can be done, but I don't know. This is definitely going to hurt the one's chances of getting another win here tonight and then going back-to-back in the Friday night showdown.
Yeah, got to send it down to Dalton. He's got an update on what happened to Jared. Dalton, what's going on down there?
I'm getting a report right now. The speed limit's 40 coming down pit lane. You gotta keep it at 40. I'm getting an update of 42 miles per hour he hit at the end of pit lane. And, you don't go over that 40 or they're giving you the black flag. And it looks like Crawford's gonna have a tough fight from 22nd, it's looking like, to the front. Hopefully, he'll get up there. I know his teammate Chad Lawton is starting first, so this will be an interesting show here up to the booth.
Now, one thing I got to reminisce about last week as well, even though Chad Lawton was able to make those moves and get back towards the front, albeit he had a little bit more time, still, you cannot forget how it ended for him going down the back straightaway, getting caught up in that mess.
Yeah, Lawton definitely did a great job getting back up to the front, but like you said, he got there and then got taken out. But, that was a totally different style of racing last week, and that was almost like a restrictor plate-esque race with how close everyone was and with how the draft was playing into effect. I don't think it'd be that kind of same deal this week, but I think it's going to be harder this week to get up to the front. I mean, Atlanta, you have a lot of grooves to get to work around people at Atlanta. Here, you don't have any really anywhere to go except the bottom. But we're gonna bring someone up right here. We're gonna talk to EJ O'Rourke. EJ, currently you're not doing too well here tonight, buddy. What's going on?
I was involved in a wreck. It's okay. The Lily truck and Chevrolet was pretty fast tonight, but it's just Richmond, man. It's all right. Get him next week, I guess.
All right, EJ. Thanks for the interview. But we're going back green right here. Chad Lawton's going to take the lead right there. He's going to keep the lead from the 6 of Duval. Alex Warren getting to the back of the. Alex, there they all go. Big stack up. Justin Brooks, everyone back there. Big wreck off turn number 2. No caution yet. There's the caution. That all stemmed from Alex Warren getting into the right rear of Alexia Loma going down the turn number 1 right there. I'm going to watch it back on my screen again. Looks like the 7 tried to cut back under the 14, but just could not make it happen. Sideswipe the 9 right there. The 4 of Justin Brooks is actually going to get away pretty decently, but it looks like the 18 got involved. Oh, Crawford got nipped back there as well. I think Crawford got away with very minor damage. I'm going to look at his right rear right now, everybody. It doesn't look too bad. Looks like he got it right before the wheels, so maybe a little bit of toe damage, but nothing too major on that one car, so his drive to the front is still definitely alive.
Yeah, he caught a big piece of another car coming down on him. Got a good piece of the inside wall as well. Gotta wonder if that rear end housing's a little messed up after that. It did not appear like he got hit in the spot that would actually give it a little bit of the damage, but we've been wrong before. I mean, the damage model here in iRacing, it does have its mishaps sometimes. We've seen it a couple of times. Looking at him going down the pitch right now, he's going straight and turning that wheel to about, I'd say, 11 o'clock right now. So that back end is towed out, and it looks like the drivers that got sent to the back. Last week it was Chad Lawton. This week, Jared Crawford is going to have all kinds of trouble. Real quick, we're going to throw it to another commercial break, but we come back. The exciting conclusion here, it's already been a mess so far, and we just got to see what we got to finish here. Dylan Duval, Chad Lawton will be your front row when we come back.
back live here in Richmond Speedway, and I'll tell you what, Cowboy, a simulation racing cockpit designed by championship race car driver Bob Earl. You got to check these things out. This dude, he's a retired race car driver, and he knows exactly what it should feel like inside the cockpit of a race car. These racing cockpits designed features a fully adjustable racing seat and frame, additional monitor stand, and shift mount sold separately. High quality and very affordable. Dude, this is a Christmas present, birthday present, $349 plus shipping. You can see it over at BobEarlRacing.com. Order one today, dude. BobEarlRacing.com. We're about ready to take the green flag. Back to the booth with Michael Conti and Ian Flash.
Alrighty, welcome back, everybody. We are working our 6th caution tonight as I'm looking through the race recap right here. 6 cautions tonight. Remember, if you can remember back to last season, season 4, the Friday night showdown, we had no cautions here. Caution-free race, so a little bit different aspect into this race with all these cautions. Different strategy from last season. Chad Lawton's going to bring him down to the green. Duval's starting in second. Again, not a great start with the 6, but not a bad one. Here comes the 24, Alex Scribner. Where did he come from? Scribner's going to move into the 3rd position right there, or at least he's going to try. Alexi Aloma's on the bottom of him right there. Alexi trying to hold that position off. Again, Alexi was the only car, well, one of the few cars to take 2 tires right there. So Alexi doing a great job holding on to it. 24 is getting a little bit tight off the exit of turn 4 right there. That's going to allow Joe Holt to stick his nose down there, try to get that position from him. That is a battle for 4th position right now. Looking back through this, Peter Bennett getting Peter Bennett is getting a piece of the wall right there. That's going to allow Chris Seymour to make the move going down to turn number 3. Up front, looks like Joe Holt has taken that position. That is 4th position. Alright, there goes Scribner back to 6th right now as Justin Brooks is going to move himself back into the top 5. So Brooks, after being sideways and almost getting collected in that caution, he's still going right there, moving forward. So it looks like that 4 machine, he's not hurt badly, or he's just driving through it right now. I'm looking for Jared Crawford. Jared Crawford is weighing the back, folks, so it looks like that 1 car is not going to be a factor in the rest of the race. He just does not have enough time to get there. It looks like he's got a little bit of damage as well. So that 1 car, Ian, is not going to be a factor in a Friday night showdown race. We can't say that too often.
Yeah, especially after the race he had last week. Dominant performance, just unable to capitalize this week. Looks like he may have cashed out for the rest of this race. That machine all kinds of towed out. He is not going to have a good, solid race car for the rest of this race. An unfortunate break for Jared, but got to bring it back up to the front. It's almost like their teammates just kind of swapped out their lucks. It's Chad Lawton, similar situation to Jared from last week, will now find himself in, well, Jared's position from last week is now he is the man up front, pulling away from Dylan Duval, running at least a 1/10.5 per lap faster than the whole entire field. So somebody's going to need a caution to get back up there to Chad. I don't think if we stay green to anybody will have anything for him. Alexi Aloma in the 3rd position, number 14, doing a fantastic job holding on to that spot, especially with the car he's had this whole entire race. Not been a front runner, but it's been a shake-up recently, especially with that pile we just had within the top 5. Joe Holt starting to close up on the 14 machine. He just passed Alex Scribner a few laps ago, trying to make some more work, and oh boy, got to go back to Richard Doucette. Number 9 machine, he was in the 7th position last time by, but I think he may be finding himself outside of the top 10. Looks like that car is starting to push pretty severely as he is fighting on that top side.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that side swipe by the Alex Warren machine to the number 9 car. I don't see any visible damage, but I'm sure that car cannot be driving right. Maybe the wheel could be pushed in on that car. I'm not entirely sure, but that 9 car is not performing at 100% right now. So Doucette going backward as Garrett Grant at 22 is going to make a move on him, and Jared Crawford is slowly making his way up through the field. Crawford is now in the 12th position as the 9 gets real squirrely into turn number 1 right there. Maybe a slight bit of contact between the 22 and the 9 right there, but as we have another caution on the track right there, that'll be caution number 7 tonight. Trying to see where it is. I'm looking. Possibly Gerald, the 17 car. Once again tonight, the 17, we're going to look back at this right there. Oh, the 8. Brandon Bowie just runs into the back of the left rear of the 17 right there, Ian. I'm not sure what that was all about.
Yeah, with the car Joshua had, though, not running very fast. I don't think that was retaliation. There was really no reason for Brandon to give him the punt. Just 17, being the slower car, just came right down in front of his nose, and I think the guy he did the right thing there. I think in that situation, I wouldn't be giving ground to somebody who decides to pull a move like that.
All right, it looks like a lot of our leaders are going to come down pit lane. Actually, not leaders. It looks like Justin Brooks, who was in the 5th position, he's going to pit. He's going to bring Krikorian down in with him, Jared Crawford. I'm going to send it down to Dalton again to give us some updates.
Yes, guys, it's looking like Justin Brooks coming in for a 4-tire stop. No fuel, wedge adjustment, and he'll be off pit lane. And, oh no, I'm looking at 2 tires, guys, 2 tires. Only 2 tire, it looks like. And he's off the pit lane.
Yeah, it looks like Justin Brooks was originally making that call for 4 tires, but last-minute swap out here, seeing that he needed to get in front of a lot of guys. Maybe a little bit of paranoia, thinking, oh no, what if guys behind me take 2 tires? It's such a track position racetrack. I'm going to lose a lot of spots here. Yes, he'll be the faster car, but yet again, he's not going to be able to make the passes as cleanly. But now that he took the 2 tires, actually, he did not maximize on his chances there because everybody behind him, 4 tires and some extensive damage repairs for a couple of drivers coming in. But definitely a tough break for Justin Brooks. He could have gotten a lot more out of that.
Yeah, definitely so. I don't think he expected everyone to take 4 behind him, and I'm sure if he could have foreseen that, foresaw it, whatever word you want to put in there, I think he definitely would have taken 4 tires. I mean, why not? You know, you already came down, you lost all that track position, might as well get tires. But right now we're going to take a break from the racing here at the Richmond International. I'm going to send it down to Race Central with JD.
Hey, Cowboy, I'll tell you what, if you missed the show tonight, the pit report every Friday night just before the Friday night showdown here, 7 o'clock p.m. And I'll tell you, always pushing the bar just a little bit further, the ETV Live Radio, supported by HD Radio Network. ETV Live Radio features classic rock and roll every hour, every day. You can also catch the live events such as race day broadcasts right from the booth, like we are tonight with Ian Plash and Michael Conti, and of course Dalton England down there on pit road. Want to put the word out, Cowboy. We're looking for drivers and spotters for the next pit report next week. So if you're a driver and a spotter team, contact us at etv-eplay.net on the contact link up there. Let me know who you are. We want to get you on the show next week. That's drivers and spotters, the team. We want you on the pit report next week. Let's take it back up to the booth with Michael Conti and Ian Plash.
Alrighty, everybody, we're still working under caution right here, the 7th caution of this race. 7 more cautions than we had last season, but 5 less than we had last week. So in one respect we're doing pretty well, and in another one we're not doing so great. But I think Ian, the racing has been quite well. I mean, they've been doing really great jobs up front, and it just seems like these restarts right now are just, you know, cautions and breeding cautions, that sort of syndrome for these guys. I think if these guys can get a few laps and spread themselves out, I think they'd be able to make the run to the finish.
Yeah, Michael, looking throughout this whole entire field, everyone's running up front has been relatively clean. It looks like the wrecks have been pretty much leftovers of prior incidents, so to speak. Not so much for Talavane, but just guys who just don't have those good handling cars anymore. And had a little bit of drama mid-pack in the last few cautions, especially about 3rd or 4th position. I believe that last caution was that had Jared Crawford caught up in that one. But pretty much the whole entire top 10 has been clean. Pace car makes its way off. Chad Lawton still gets a really good restart. He does that all the time, every single race we get to, and that has been one of his strong points here in the iRacing service. Joe Holt makes the move around the 6 car. Joe Holt, he's had a pretty strong charging number 20 machine. Does he have anything for Chad Lawton? We got less than 20 laps to find out.
Oh, there they go. There goes Brooks. Oh, big wreck in the back right there. Turn 3 and 4. I believe that might have been Chris Seymour. I'm looking right here. Yes, Chris Seymour. Possibly off the apron right there. I'm trying to get this up. I'm going to rewind it right here. Chris Seymour. Oh, yeah, Chris Seymour trying to make a move on the bottom of the 29. I'm looking off of turn 2 right now. 29 and 16 side by side. 16 sent it down in there. 29 wanted nothing of that. They made contact, and the 4 had nowhere to go, and the 4 will violently roll down the track. Krikorian will get damaged. 11 Mahar will spin out. 12 Afash is also involved, but Justin Brooks just not. Oh, man, Justin Brooks, 2nd week in a row with tough luck.
If you remember last week, we had a car pretty much go spacebound. Justin Brooks trying to make a repeat of that. Didn't get quite as much air, but pretty significant air we see that machine take on exit. Looks like the 16, but actually watch it on their E-play, though. Just slides up right into Brooks. Brooks, nowhere to go. Hits the wall a ton on the SunTrust sign, and up into the air his car goes. Very, very tough break. And actually, His car has been pulled off for the rest of this event. Justin Brooks, we got him on the radio. And Justin, just the victim of circumstance there. What happened?
I don't know. Everybody just driving stupid, pretty much. I mean, I really don't know. I was coming on outside. I about ran over Matthew Wright getting on the one. I was so much faster, and coming out two, I tried going low. I didn't have the spot, so I just tried to stand outside, and the car in front of me just pretty much cut Seymour off and started all that. I had nowhere to go.
Now, looking at all four corners of that machine, and unfortunately including the roof of that car, everything seems to be pretty severely pushed in. Anyway, we're going to see that machine back out on the track.
I doubt it. The motor is gone. I mean, unless someone pushes me around the track, I doubt it. But you know, we had a really good car tonight. Couldn't really show it because it's really hard to pass here. Couldn't really get a good qualifying setup in tonight. I qualified fifth somehow with a 101. I didn't expect it to be starting about 10th or so. And like I said, I had a really fast race setup, and I just really couldn't show it. It was tight in traffic, and I mean, I started coming there to the end. I went from 12th, what was it, 5th, where I pitted right there, and then you just saw what happened.
Now, I understand your reasoning behind wanting to get some fresh tires in that machine, but when you decided to make that pit stop, especially from the spot you were in, with the very few amount of laps we had to go, what was your hopes with those machines? I know you took the two tires there on the right side, but do you think those tires in the long run would have been worth it?
Oh yeah, 5 lap fresher tires can mean a lot of difference. You can easily get past by them. I tried it in practice. I had just 3 lap fresher tires in Crawford, and I blasted by him and pulled of a second in just 6 laps. That's just how much tires mean here. And I suspected everybody behind me to pit. I only had a few people do it, and I kind of knew I was in a jam when I restarted 10th and had all the guys that I pretty much was ahead of in front of me that stayed out in older tires. And well, I mean, like I said, it's the end of the race. Everybody's going to drive like a bunch of morons. It's the second week in a row, same crap happened. And the fortunate thing is, I'm like the main one involved in this time. I don't know what to say.
Yeah, very tough break last week and this week. Unfortunately, number 4 car looks to be done for this event. And I got to give you credit. You tried to go spacebound much like we saw last week. Didn't quite get the same amount of air, but hey, I give you a 10 out of 10 for that landing. Real quick before you go back to Green Flag Racing, anybody you'd like to thank?
Yeah, I want to thank everybody that helped me on the setup this week. Joey Brown, Peter Bennett, David Gregorian, Lee Heron, everybody over at JB/McThunderstick Motorsports. I want to thank my sponsors, ElliottRealty.com. You can visit them for vacation rentals for the North Carolina or South Carolina area. And I want to thank you guys for actually having a good broadcast and pulling me up in the booth whenever I'm pissed as hell and wrecked 2 weeks in a row.
All right, well, that was Justin Brooks. Really unfortunate set of circumstances tonight finds him behind the wall. Mike, we're going back green.
There we go, Chad Lawton, bring him down slow. Here he goes, puts that thing down to the floor right there. That was an entertaining interview by Brooks. I can't get over that. Oh, is the 6 going to make a block on the... Oh, on Alexi right there. The 6 just making a big old swerve down the track.
Oh, right trouble in the back, 27th round.
Trouble in the back. Oh, big wreck. I believe I'm hearing it. It's one of the cars in the teens. Right, oh, big wreck, still down the backstretch. Oh, Josh Gerald is going to get airborne. Oh, man. They're just stacking them up here tonight, boys.
Oh, Gerald just took a big roll down the back straightaway, trying to get it back on all 4 wheels. And it looks like we had 3 wide going into turn 1, and that just did not work. Unfortunate set of circumstances for all those drivers back there. But, oh, man, we have all kinds of cars upside down here at Richmond. It has been a melee.
A 27 car right there, Ian Blanchard, going down to the corner, 3 wide, up top. He's going to get a little bit of help, a little bit of netcode help right there, actually courtesy of the one and only iRacing.com. A little bit of netcode right there. You know, that's what you face in sim racing. And unfortunately, Chris Seymour also got involved. The 18 also got involved right there. I'm not sure how Gerald got into that. I'm kind of guessing, Mahar. Wow, we got a little bit of a controversy back here, folks. I'm watching this replay back. It looks like Mahar, I'm sorry, I pronounced that wrong, Mahar, was turned into the side of the 8 right there. I think he got a little bit loose, maybe on the apron. The 17 had nowhere to go and just flipped violently. And big problems with the 17. The 17's going to climb up on the wall and turn the thing sideways and monster truck save it. Just all types of mayhem back here, Ian. This is really, it started off as a good race, but these guys are doing the same Atlanta thing. They just cannot get a couple laps in after these restarts.
Yeah, the pressure starts to unfold in the later portions of the races. You got to get every spot you can get, especially when you're looking into the end of this race, because you never know with these cautions if you're going to have enough time to make that pass cleanly. So you got to get it done as quick as you can. Unfortunately, when you get over your head like that, you got so many drivers on the track, there's just going to be wreck after wreck. We may see this go yellow all the way to the finish of this race. And John, I got a request for you. Look in the 22nd position right now. Who do you see out on the track right now? That's right, Justin Brooks has that car running somehow, and he is back on the racetrack.
Yeah, Justin Brooks really, he doesn't have to be out there right now, but that's just a little bit of a pride deal for Brooks. He wants to finish this race. I guess he can make up a couple points. Well, if Bowie and Mahar and Petrella and all them were to quit right now, he could make up a couple positions, but he is 6 laps down. Just wants to get that four car out there just a little bit more, get Elliott Realty a little bit more TV time. That always makes the sponsors happy. But Justin Brooks is ultimately done tonight as far as finishing anywhere halfway decent, but it's good to see that car back out there, and that crew must have done an excellent job to repair that thing, because he had a lot of damage after flipping several times.
My goodness, you find me another crew that can get a car running just 10 minutes after he pretty much got dropped from the sky. That is really impressive. I don't know if he's going to take it back to Green Flag Racing, but hey, you got to give him a shout out to his all the sponsors there, just waving that flag, showing he's not going down. I am really impressed. But the pace car.
Oh, there he goes.
And
I hit the pit wall.
He just took it into the wall, so decided to get that car back on the track. And he's upside down looking at him in the pits. He's probably in that car chuckling his head off right now. He's got to make the best out of the situation when you get into these rough bits of luck. But I believe we should have at least, only one lap until we go back to Green Flag Racing. Look at that, folks. We are going to have at least 6 laps of racing to go. Chad Lawton, dominant car of the race. Up front, Joe Holt. He's been showing a pretty strong car, but he just does not have the time. Will he have anything? We're going to find out.
Yeah, I don't know. Joe Holt's going to have to get the restart of his iRacing career right here. Able to overcome that 2, and the 2's just going to fly off the line right there. Here comes the 6. The 6 is going to make a move on the bottom of the 20 right there. Look for, the 6 and the 24 nearly get together. Here comes Alexi Aloma on the bottom of the 24. Alexi trying to mount a late race charge right here. We got 6 laps to go right now.
We're looking back for 3 wide racing where Richard Doucette is in the 11th position, thinks better of it, gets to the underside of the 28 cleanly that time by when they go into turn number 3. 5 laps of racing to go.
Here we come, Jared Crawford getting a bump in the back from Peter Bennett. He gets sent into the corner a little bit too deep as he's going to slide up into Scribner. Here comes Jared Crawford. He's in 5th position, everybody. I don't know how he's gotten up there. It looks like that damage wasn't too bad after all. He's trying to get to the 4th position. A great comeback for that one car.
Give Jared Crawford's crew the golden hammer of the race. That car was beat to all crap. Sorry if I said that on the rear, but just looking at that car, he's doing a really good job trying to bring it back up into the top 5. He's in 5th right now, trying to get around Alex into the 4th position there. Can't do it into 3, but gotta look out. Back up to 2nd position. Joe Holt has got a mirror full of Dylan Duvall as he enters turn number 1. Just 3 laps of racing to go.
It looks like Chad Lawton's got this thing in the bag right now. If nothing out of the ordinary happens to that number 2 car. The battle is for 4th right now as Alexi Loma makes a block to the number 1 car. The 1 wanted to make a move down into turn number 3. Did not happen. Here comes the crossover. Alexi Loma blocking one more time. Crawford's going to send it in there anyway. Here comes Crawford. He's going to slide up the track just a little bit. The caution's out again. That's going to be the end of it right there. Chad Lawton is your winner tonight at the Richmond International Raceway Friday night B-Car Showdown, presented by the one, the only, and the incomparable Gary Mercer Trucking.
Chad Lawton showing that he had a really strong car. Had a little bit of a mishap earlier in the race, but look where he's at right now. P1, 1 lap around this track under caution. If that motor doesn't blow up, a random tire blows out, the rear end gearing decides to randomly give out, which in this service I don't think so. But if something random were to happen, he is going to have this win if nothing happens, I should say. Joe Holt giving him a bump. Nice thing about this series, everybody, in the end of it, we're all competitors, and it's all really, really hard racing, but in the end, there's a level of respect between everybody that's just unmatched in any simulation you'll find anywhere else. Coming out of corner number 4, Chad Lawton in that 2 machine will be the winner at the Richmond International Raceway. To the line, checkered flag, and there is your winner, Joe Holt. 2nd place, Dylan Duvall. pretty much driving a drift car out there all race long. He'll find himself in the 3rd position. Alexi Aloma 4th, and Jared Crawford at this side give his crew the Golden Hammer of the Race award. 5th position for the number 1.
Oh, big bump from the 1 to the 2 right there. That's brotherly love. That's teammate love right there. Those guys have worked together for a couple months now. Chad Lawton's still a newcomer to the iRacing service compared to many. I don't even know if he's been on here for 6 months. So for Lawton to be this competitive this early, everybody look out. This man might be a DWC champion one day. Seems like he can adapt to any racing sim out there. So congratulations to Chad Lawton. And everyone that made it home in one piece tonight, we got away from here with less cautions in Atlanta, but probably a little bit more sheet metal than all these guys wanted.
A lot of bent-up race cars here in Richmond. It's to be expected. Short track racing at its finest. Chad Lawton is your winner here at Richmond. But don't you go anywhere. We come back. Michael Conti, JD, and Dalton. We'll have your ETV post-race show. I actually got to get out of here. I also, while I'm on the air still, I got to give a shout out to my father, who is getting married here in less than 12 hours. This time tomorrow, we should be a married man. So big congratulations goes out to the old man. And, yeah, but as I said earlier, don't you go anywhere. We come right back. ETV will have your post-race show.
And we are back live here at Richmond Speedway. And I'll tell you what, some last lap action taking place there. Of course, ending under caution. Chad Lawton brings the win home tonight. Let's take it on back up to Michael Conti for the post-race show. Michael?
All right, Chad Lawton right here, everybody. Your winner of the Friday Night B-Car Showdown, week number 6. Chad, tell us about your race and tell us how you got to the front and were able to ultimately stay there.
The race was decent, I guess. We had about 10 cautions, and it seemed like the 5 of the cautions were towards the end of the race. Everyone was getting all crazy. But me, Jared, Rich, and Joe, and we all threw a setup together today and had something, I guess, for everybody else. And I was able to get a good qualifying setup and put a good lap down to beat Jared. And I know if he would probably qualify in front of me, it was hard to catch. And luckily, I got the pole and was able to kind of stay out and get clean air, and that was pretty much it.
All right, so Chad, I want to get your honest opinion on something. This is the second week in a row. Last week we had 12 cautions. This week we've had 10. What do you think is going on with the racing, and why are we seeing so many yellows come out the past couple weeks?
I think it's just people driving over their head and not really. There's really no respect. It seems like the respect's going out the window here in the B series, and there's only a slim few that can actually race together and have fun. And it seems like from mid pack and back is just they're racing over their heads, and they just need to stay low or just stay clean and just drive it out or ride it out. And well, that's pretty much all I have. I mean, I don't know what more they can do back there.
Well, I think you hit the nail right in the head. Now, Chad, before I let you go, this the time to give all your sponsors a shout out and let them know that you're thinking about them.
I want to thank everyone from Woman Inc., Rich Doucette, Jared Crawford, Joe Holt for helping me today in the B car. I'm glad we put together a good setup. I want to thank my sponsor, Sim Race Review, simracingreview.com, and you visit there and watch some pretty cool videos. And that's pretty much it.
All right, everybody. Thank you, Chad, for joining us up here in the booth. That is Chad Lawton, your winner at Richmond. I'm going to send it down to JD Webb. JD, who have you caught up with tonight?
I'll tell you what, standing down here next to his car, Joe Holt started 13th tonight, that number 20 machine. And Joe, Richmond Speedway, short track action, door slamming, bumper banging stuff. Tell me about your race.
Yeah, that's exactly what was my strategy, was just to kind of ride it out there at the beginning and let the attrition kind of take care of some of the cars out there, kind of keep my stuff out of trouble, and try to be there at the end. You got to be there to finish up the top. So I was hoping to be in the top 5 there towards the last 25, 30 laps, figuring there's going to be a lot of cautions. Lucked in to be there in the top 3, and was racing Dylan Duvall there at the end pretty tight. He raced me clean, I appreciate that, and just came away with a good finish.
Saw a multitude of different kind of pit strategies here tonight. 2-tire, no tire, fuel only, 4-tire. What was your strategy as far as your pit stops tonight?
Yeah, I always wanted those 4 tires. I knew, like I said, the cautions would be coming out, and I figured those 4 tires, especially there at the end, you'd need them to try to stay out there. The last 35 laps with all those cautions, we didn't bother to pit, Chad or I. And as far as fuel goes, once we hit the fuel window, we stopped taking fuel at that point and just kind of tried to stay out front, tried to keep the car up front in the clean air, and just keep going fast.
All right, podium finish for Joel Holt tonight at Richmond Speedway, Cowboy. Who made it happen for you?
Well, like I said, like Chad said, got to thank the guys over there at Wilman Inc. Week in and week out, they bring it, just practice session after practice session, trying to put these sets together. I think it shows on the track whenever you see all of us up front racing for wins. So got to thank those guys. They've done a great job.
All right. Congratulations on the second place finish here tonight. I'm going to throw it down pit road just a little bit. We sent Dalton England down there with a 5-gallon bucket to stand on so he could get the microphone up to his lips. Let's take you down to Dalton England. I believe he's standing by with Dylan Duvall.
Yes, guys, I'm down here with Dylan Duvall. Dylan, how was your car today?
Car was pretty good. Everyone at Gale Force Racing did an awesome job with it. Passing was just really hard. It rolled the center good, but I just didn't have enough grip off the corner to be able to complete enough passes to try to get around everyone when I was mid-pack or about 5th or so, and Joe was really hard to pass right there at the end.
Yeah, passing cars early was, it was looking fairly easy, but passing cars later, what was up with that?
It was, as the race went on, it got more difficult to pass, so everyone driving harder, people were dive bombing, just a mixture of things made it really hard at the end there to pass.
And what kind of strategy did you have coming into this race?
Nah, I didn't really have any strategy coming in. I was just hoping to keep it up around the front, try to stay out of the wrecks.
And would you like to thank anybody here, sponsors, friends, family, anybody that helped you?
I'd like to thank everyone at Gale Force Racing. The setup was awesome. Best Class B setup I've run in a long, long time. I'd like to thank Wheel Stand Pro, Tim's Corner, and JDR Graphics.
And that is your third place finisher, Dylan Duvall.
No.
Alrighty, everybody. That is your top 3 finishers right there, top split B car Friday night showdown. We saw a lot of bumping and banging tonight, which I'm sure everyone expected from a 3/4 of a mile short track. It always brings the tempers out in everyone. We definitely did see some tempers flare tonight. Final thoughts for me. I'm hoping that we can start settling down on these cautions a little bit. Hopefully, next week we can maybe cut that caution count in half and get some longer runs in and see, who can really just keep the tires under him and go throughout a run and be successful. So that's for me. I'm hoping we see some better racing next week. I'm gonna send it down to JD Webb. JD, how did you feel about tonight's race?
You bet, Cowboy. I tell you what, I spent a lot of time in the engineer's room during the race, so I don't get to see a whole lot of it. But I got to agree with one of the drivers' comments here tonight up here on the podium. I just saw a lot of people. It looked like they were kind of driving over their head a little bit. Hey, this is short track racing. You got to get the rhythm going and make it last and try to get the job done. But difficult to pass sometimes. But Brennan Mercer along for the ride here tonight after a hiatus for a couple of weeks. But Brennan, let's get your thoughts. Sponsoring the Friday Night Showdown series here, what's your thoughts on Richmond here tonight?
Well, we went from 0 cautions to 10 cautions, so you know what? It's still fun. This is still fun to watch. I mean, I enjoy Jared coming through the field after he got caught up on a penalty there. I enjoyed watching them actually battle for the lead. I mean, Lawton battling there as well. So it was good. It was good and fun. I mean, cautions aside, cautions are just the necessary evil, if you will. But other than that, it was good. I had a lot of fun watching it.
You bet. And I'll tell you what, if you're not having a whole lot of fun watching races here on ETV Live, then you need to pick up a new hobby, maybe a set of knitting needles. I got a rusty old pair right here sitting beside me. Hey, Cowboy, we ain't done yet. Tomorrow night, actually Sunday night, we're off tomorrow night. Sunday night, the Power Ride Lucas Oil Midgets at Angel Park Speedway with Simpro Racing. Let me tell you something, Cowboy. Andrew Felker, the points leader, the real deal in the Power Ride Lucas Oil Midgets, he'll be there as well. He finished 7th here a couple of weeks ago, but he'll be there. Chris Bell will be there. That'll be Sunday night, 9:30 p.m. You can join Brett Wheeler up in the booth, along with all of our other ETV Live dignitaries. And, of course, on Monday night, back in the saddle again with Real Sim Racing Full Throttle Cup Series right back here at Richmond Speedway. So a lot more action coming your way. Check the archives for everything we do. Just click on that ePlay link on the etv-eplay.net website. And for all the boys up here in the booth, Brennan Mercer, our sponsor, John, the Bad Boy Wrestling, of course, pushing the buttons, giving you the best of the camera action all night long from flag to flag. Michael Conti, Ian Plash, Dalton England on pit road tonight, Cowboy. We'll catch you next time on ETV Live.
Thank you.